All right, God bless you guys. All right, you guys ready? Here's our icebreaker for today. Or not. Who here has ever said, I don't have enough time? Everybody, I don't have enough time, right? So we're going to go around the room quickly because obviously we're all in different stages of life. And regardless where you're at in life, that statement of I don't have enough time remains accurate, right? I remember working in the bank before I had gotten married, before I had Amaya. And I used to complain that I didn't have enough time to the older ladies. And they're like, you're so young. You have enough time. And I used to get mad because I'm like, just because I don't have a kid and I'm not married doesn't mean I have time. I'm still busy. And, I think that we tend to think that because people don't have the responsibilities that we have, that they have more time. But everybody has a different schedule, right? So we're going to go around quickly because we're all different ages, different ways and walks of life. And you're just going to tell me real quick what your day-to-day looks like. Because for most of us, it's work, dinner, or breakfast, lunch, work, dinner, food, whatever. But that's just me. All right, so what does 24 hours look like for you? And then I want you to say your age just so that I'm proving a point. Ready? So Destiny, kick us off. How old are you and what does 24 hours look like for you on a day-to-day? It's 26. Okay. But you own your own business. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. Go ahead, Jules. Each. 42. There's nothing wrong with 42. It's Mariano's number. Go.
Either kids and lunch to my house. Get dressed, shower, dress. Sometimes I work out right now. And kids stuff, make sure they have their stuff. If there's activities, I make sure I have their stuff ready to go. Get the kids ready on the floor or not. They have one has daycare, one is grandma at the moment. So then we'll start. So I'll be up to number
driving
8. Then I'll drop them over. Then I work. Whatever how my day goes from. I start working probably like 9:30 o'clock, depending on traffic, and then I leave there about 6 o'clock. Pick up kids, depending on the kind of activity. I go straight to their activity. Grandma, grandpa's there, and leave there about 7:30 home. Have someone take care of the grandma. Husband comes home about 8:30, 9 o'clock. We all meet together, have a little bit of dinner, shower, and then repeat.
Dinner at 10 o'clock. I love it. Okay.
Almost. Well, this was my night. That was my night back then. Good. Oh, you went this time. That was to jump in the car.
Yeah.
So night was more hectic because I had and the kids.
Not more hectic because according to everybody's different. I know, but I'm just gonna brag a little bit.
Okay.
Ask her how long she works, because everybody's like, "Wow, she works."
The works.
Wow. All right, Daisy. Daisy, you gotta participate one of these Fridays. Just give me a run through. Don't have to be work. Go loud. We can't hear you. Oh, look, Ralphie wants to make sure. No, seriously, Daisy, how old are you? 50. Okay, you look good for 50. Okay, girl, I thought you were still in your 40s. Go.
Waits to about 36. Go home. Still work because we were parents. You never stop working because I don't stop. And we're down from the house.
Do you ever say I don't have enough time?
I'm making enough time.
Okay, well, don't get ahead of my class, girl. Don't ahead of my class. All right, okay, that's good. Ralphie?
Yeah, work home.
Cook dinner for Daisy, rub Daisy's feet. Do you ever say I don't have enough time? Okay. Patty. You're older than my mom. Wow. Your age. Ralphie, how old are you? 55. Dang. He looks amazing. Wow. Okay, Kathy, go ahead. 73. I didn't know. I thought my mom was older. Okay, go ahead, Kathy. So you're double tired.
I have to put him on the bed at night, and then in the middle of the night, he wants to go down. So I'm doing this for like
all night. Yeah.
So yeah. Check out emails, check out phones.
Okay. Yeah. Do you ever say I don't have enough time? Do you ever say I don't have enough time? No? Yeah, so this don't apply to 70 and up or 50 and up. That's the goal. That's the goal at 70. All right. Dante, how old are you? And what's your day look like? Okay.
Eat breakfast, feast slowly until the whole day, and then we be on TikTok until 2 a.m. when we go to sleep.
Okay. So. Yes. Talking to Dante all day.
Oh,
You forget to eat. Stop. I never forget to eat. I never forget to eat. Okay. Janet, age. How old are you now, Janet? Okay. Do you have enough time? Beautiful. All right, Sasha Fierce. Age and what's your day look like now? Good. Do you forget to eat? Oh my God, these people. Nice. Okay. Perfect. Burn. Oh, you're 32. Don't you forgot? She said she was 31. You were like, wait. All right, Burn. Age. Age. Okay. Nice. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Uh, you know what's funny? I was thinking about that today. I'm driving, and when I specifically listen to songs that I can sing along to, because I'll sing my little heart out. And then I was like, I wonder what people do who can't sing. Like, do they sing along? Do you sing along? I didn't realize that.
It's just me now, so I try to fill up my days.
Okay.
And see like what it is that I can do with name and honor, but will help other people too,
Right.
not just myself. And that's really my mission.
Do you ever say I don't have enough time?
But
Okay.
not always.
You're being intentional. Nice. Okay.
After that, I go back home, get in my word and prayer. And that's an indefinite time. Then get ready for breakfast. Then go to work from 8:30 to 5. Then after that, either take a walk or spend time with the wife and kids. And at night, we have dinner. Then get into the word as a family. We do a family devotional. Then I have my time alone with God. And then I let YouTube with a British soft-spoken preacher putting you to sleep.
Nice. Do you ever say I don't have enough time?
Not anymore. I used to. Not
Ooh, I like that, guys. Everybody's like, all right, Xavier.
43
Damn.
since I haven't been working.
4 months now.
Since 2 months.
Yeah.
My day in New York is now wake up and go to the bathroom, then I go and the dogs go to the bathroom.
You have a lot of time.
So then the dogs come in with me. And as I'm preparing their food, listening to my stories, and then feed them. Then I put them away. And I go outside, and while I'm smoking, I'm listening to the play.com story.
Okay.
I do that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, then I clean up the mess that was made, dealing with the dogs, and then waking everybody up. I wake up Maggie, I wake up Sam. She's already up. She actually wakes up.
Morning person. Yeah.
So, and during this, like all throughout the day since she been, I mean, this is only the second day. We talk.
Nice. Spending time.
Yeah. Most of my time since I'm not working is spent on the dogs, a little bit of cleanup here and there, you know what I mean? Just listening to stories.
Do you ever say I don't have enough time? Not right now. For those of you who don't know, this is Avrilise, Xavier's daughter. Not everybody knows her. All right, Avrilise. I know you're on vacation, but go ahead. Go your little voice. She still sounds 5. I can't. Okay, good. Do you have enough time? Yeah, a lot of time. How about you, Mai?
And most of the time,
and McDonald's. So I'll come downstairs after like taking a meal out or whatever to my McDonald's. Then get ready for the day, which consists of me probably doing nothing. Unless I have work, then I go to work and then I come home and do nothing. But I take a shower and go back.
Okay. I forgot. Do you forget to eat?
Yeah.
How about you? Do you forget to eat? Xavier, you forget to eat?
Yeah, I do actually.
Do you forget to eat? Do you say you don't have enough time? You have too much time. All right, my people on Zoom. We'll start with Mimi. What's your day look like? Age?
I wake up in the morning, take a shower, go to work, come home, make dinner sometimes, go to sleep, and back at it.
Do you have enough? Do you ever say I don't have enough time?
I do, but I have all the time of the week, actually.
You do, but you do. Oh, okay, you're fighting with yourself. Okay.
Right.
Okay, perfect. How old are you?
43.
43, yes. Okay. Queen B, next. Debbie. Hey, Brando. All right, Debbie, go. Okay, maybe not. Jasmine Tavares.
Can you hear me, Lou?
Hey, yeah, I can hear you, babe.
Okay. Well, it depends on the day of the week. So, like, I go to work on Monday, so then I'll be out of town until Wednesday. I get back, then I get my son on Wednesday. Then I get my daughter Thursday. Then from Thursday to Sunday, pretty much on mom mode, pickups, drop offs, church on the weekends. Saturday, I tend to maybe take my kids out. And now that school is starting back up, probably just be doing the back and forth, dropping off on Thursday and Friday when I'm home. And then, yeah, pretty much it. And then obviously in between eating and, shower and doing all that. But it really depends on the day. I'm like, my schedule's all over the place.
Do you ever say I don't have enough time?
Sometimes.
Okay. How old are you?
36.
36. Okay. Now we got Amy and then next Melissa.
Hey guys, so I guess I'll talk about when I'm back at work. 'Cause right now I'm off for the summer. So I wake up at 5:50, get the baby ready. Take a shower, then get the baby ready, bring her to daycare. I work from 7 to 2. Then I work after school. Then I come home, make dinner, sports, doctor's appointments, everything, grading. And I was going to bed around 11:30, but it was just getting to be too late. So I've kind of been intentional of going to bed around 9:30 now. When I can.
Nice. How old are you?
35.
35. And Melissa.
Hello, everyone. So I work for myself as a nurse, so my schedule is a little all over. I make it when I need it, the way I need it. But really, I get up between 5 and 6 in the morning just to have some time myself. I'll spend some time first thing in the morning with the Lord for about 30 minutes or so, and then I will try to exercise. Then I'll clean, take a shower, get myself together, and then get the kids ready for daycare. And then depending on what kind of day is ahead, if I have to run errands, I'll run errands, complete some tasks. This is an ideal day. Some days are interchangeable because, you have small kids. You kind of got to go with the flow, but that's pretty much it. And then I'll pick the kids up around 3. What else? Hang out a little bit. We do dinner and it's bath and bed. I'll probably go to bed around like 11 o'clock. In between, I'll put the kids to bed and do some stuff with them. And that's really it.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
38. Okay. And Brando, what does 24 hours look like for you? Like, what's your day to day just to do your stuff? Okay. Do you ever say I don't have enough time? Well, he got 2 jobs. What else? That says it all. He said he got 3-4 hours to himself. What do you want to know? What he's doing the 3 hours that he has for himself? I'm 42. I wake up at like 6:45. The worst part is just getting out of the bed. Then I get out of the bed, do what I got to do. I'm in front of the computer by 7:30, 8 o'clock. On a good day, I'll send a daily text. So if you haven't been getting it, haven't been good days. But these last 3 days have been good days. I mean, good day. I've been trying anyway. Then I take a break, have coffee, breakfast, come back, unless I'm going to run errands. I own my own business, so I can maneuver the time accordingly, but doesn't always work out that way, because if I'm running errands, then I have to come back, and then the day goes, instead of 9 to 5, it's like 9 to 9 or whatever. I'll regret it. Or 11.
Back on the bed.
Whenever I give up. But I multitask. So mute yourself, Melissa. I multitask. So I'm cooking dinner and cleaning the house and doing laundry while I'm editing and responding to messages. And that's why I'm so tired by the end of the day. But yeah, that's what the day looks like.
Lou, I'm not too sure why mine isn't showing up. Am I showing up?
Are you there?
Hey, girl.
Oh, so wait, there's a whole other group here. I'm so sorry, Britt.
I was just gonna keep quiet. I was like,
you were like, whatever. Like, she's not gonna call on me.
Let me just
Hold on, babe. I didn't even see you there. Espérate. I don't know how to wait.
No,
Oh.
I mean it's okay.
No, I'm not trying to exclude you. I didn't even see
No,
you
of
there.
course, of course.
What
I
is
figured.
this?
I figured maybe it's not
I
showing
was
me
wondering where
because
you at. What?
I
What's
logged
happening?
in a little later, so maybe that's why I don't
know. I didn't see you there. All right. Is there anyone else there that didn't call?
don't all say something at once. Just kidding.
Okay, so Brit, I think it's just you. It wasn't showing
Okay,
me.
probably
All right,
because I
baby,
logged in a little later.
give me your age and give me your day to day, babe.
Why are we calling out ages? I'm just kidding. No, I sometimes forget.
'Cause I'm proving a point. Go.
Okay, so I'm 36. I think, right? 30, 35. Yeah, 36. Day to day. I don't know. So I typically wake up around 4:30, 5:30. On a good day, I can maybe like get a little bit more sleep, but that's rare. I might be on a prayer call or might just spend time with the Lord. I then walk my dog. I try to shower and get myself together. And then I go and wake Symphony up, get her together. Depending on, whether or not she's going to daycare or I'm going to work, we set out to get the day started. And so if it's like a work day, yeah, I go to work, I come back home. I typically go and pick her up or something and maybe run a few errands and get back home and we eat and then it's bath time and everything and then it's to bed. And I have to say that like these are not the same hours. I swear they're not the same hours that I had at 25, at 30, at 21. Like there's no way. So like I will argue with someone. These are not the same hours. As much as I've tried to like alter certain things or like get up a little earlier, go to bed a little earlier. For me personally, it's never enough time. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but for me it's
we'll
not.
figure it out by the end of the class. Do you ever say I don't have enough time? You just said it.
Yes.
Do you forget to eat? I don't forget to eat, by the way, guys. I always make time to eat several times during the day. Forget to drink.
I do.
I don't forget to eat.
I'm guilty of doing that sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So why are you asking our age? Why are you putting it on blast? Because as you can see, besides the two 70-year-olds that we have here, and Daisy and Ralphie being the exception, everybody and the teenagers, but you guys right now you're not in school. So once school starts, it's gonna change up the algorithm. Everybody's busy. And some people, according to what they like, I heard some people working out, some people doing their devotions in the morning. According to what it is that you like, you make time for. Clearly I like food. So you heard that. I make time for food. But everybody makes time for whatever it is, like our sister Kathy said she likes the TBN. Like whatever you like, you'll make time for, or a nap. Whatever, yes, that is the key right there. I'll make time for what I care about. And the truth is that's the truth. Just like we never have enough money, but if you smoke cigarettes, you're gonna have money for your cigarettes. And I'm not pointing at you. It's the truth. If you like food, I always seem to have money for food. May not have money for this, but McDonald's, there's always $5 for McDonald's. There's always a coupon. If you like the gym, you're gonna make sure you have that money for the gym, unless you have your own gym. I know. I got it pending. So there's basically we make time for what we want and what we like. Or what we care about. Spending time with our family. If we really want to do it, we'll do it. You know what I mean? Okay, so here's our gut check for today. Where does God fit in your schedule? Okay? Where does God fit in your schedule? Now, it's not that we're going to go and, yes, there's a lot of time for the Lord, but the Bible says, I meditate in his word day and night. How am I supposed to do that if I'm at work? How am I supposed to do if I'm driving? How am I supposed to do if I'm cooking? But the truth is that everything we do, the Lord says we do it unto him. So we can still praise and worship while you're being, Xavier, you hear? I know. We could still bring honor and glory and worship God while we're being a mom, while we're working, while we're working out, while we're cooking, right? Because everything we do it unto the Lord. But I want you to keep that in mind. Where does God fit in your schedule? Okay. Again, notice I said God, not church, but church has it. Community is a big deal. Okay. A lot of times, I just don't have time to make it to church. And that's fine. That's justifiable. But the truth is that community helps the relationship. And a lot of times we think our devotion time is enough. It's not. We need to be together with the brothers and sisters because it makes a difference, okay? That's not what we're talking about today, but, well, actually it is and it is not, but go ahead. So here we go. This is what we're working on. And you're in the hot seat, so you're going to go ahead and first 2 verses.
Men were sent to trap Jesus in his talk. 14, they came to him and said, Teacher, we know you are.
Keep going. The whole thing.
We know you are not afraid of what men think or say about you. Teach the way of God and truth. Is it right to pay tax to Caesar?
Okay, so who is they? We know the proud religious law keepers, but who are they? Pharisees and who else? Sadducees, right? And it says, they came to him and said, Teacher, we know you are true. We know you're not afraid of what men think or say about you. You teach the way of God in truth. Is it right to pay taxes to Caesar or not? We're not going to get there yet. Is there anything wrong with what they're doing there? Is there anything wrong? What's wrong, Bernadette? Okay, but even before the Caesar part, is there anything wrong? Let's read it again. Yes, but are they lying?
They're not
Condescending like how? Explain it to me.
They don't believe it, so they're trying to catch him out there. Well, people do believe it. So
Right.
they want him to say what he's going to say because they hang on his word, and they want to put him in a position where they say, "Well, you said."
Exactly. What do you see?
Religious leaders and herdsmen, that's like mixing oil and water. Those two don't mix.
Okay, and we're gonna get there. Good pointing it out. Xavier, go. If you see me engaging Xavier more than anybody, it's because Xavier, like, what is that thing you have? Yeah, so he'll knock out. So I have to keep him engaged so that he doesn't fall asleep. Okay? Because then he'll fall asleep and then he'll start snoring. So that's why I pick on him all day. Okay. All right. So Bernadette pointed out that they're being condescending because of what they're saying, right? Blasphemy or treason. Okay. But Ariel, before we even get to them being condescending, Ariel points something out. Some of the proud religious law keepers and Herod's men. So we again see the Pharisees and Herodians working together. Last time that we saw them working together was in Mark chapter 3, verse 6. Former enemies came together because of Jesus, but it was because they both opposed Jesus and wanted to destroy him. So the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? So we always see that. People may not like each other, but if we both don't like each other, but we both don't like Brandon, then you and I are friends because we both don't like Brandon. And that always happens like that in real life, okay? Teacher, sorry, Brandon. Teacher, we know that you are true and care about no one. You do not regard the person of men, but teach the way of God in truth. So they're basically flattering him, but it's condescending. So there is, all right, so let's go here. Why is flattery bad? Did you know that flattering somebody is bad? I always heard it was bad. I never really understood why, but here's why. The Bible views flattery as a form of deceit, right? And manipulation. Unlike genuine encouragement or sincere praise, flattery uses exaggerated or insincere words for selfish gain, to trick others, or to set a trap. Scripture consistently warns against using or listening to smooth talk. And my mom always taught me, and too bad she stepped out, but my mom always taught me, if somebody's flattering you too much, using pretty words too much, don't fall for it. Because nobody is that nice. In real life, nobody is that nice. Discernment is key. And sometimes we think, well, no, they're just really sweet. Nah, nobody's not that sweet. I'm sorry. And you know what? Sometimes we get turned off by the people who have the RBF face, or the people who just be like, hi, and just keep it at the hi. But you know what? Sometimes we have to use discernment, because if somebody's using such sweet words and super sweet, that's a red flag, because ain't nobody that nice in real life. So know that that's flattery. It's not good. So for you younger ones, that's a red flag. For the ladies, if you see a guy and he's buttering you up, especially if he's Hispanic, run, because ain't nobody that nice. That's the truth. Now, he gives you a little bit of spice, okay. But somebody that's so sweet all the time, and even with the gentlemen as well, ain't nobody that nice, okay? Yeah, there's always a hidden motive or selfish gain behind it. That's when you keep your ears up, because ain't nobody that sweet all the time, right? But Am I making this up? No, the Bible actually says it. Psalms 12, 2-3 says people speak, this thing trips me up every time, with flattering lips and a double heart, and ask God to cut off those flattering tongues. Romans 16:18 says, warn that smooth talk and flattery deceive the hearts of naive people. So that's what we see here. First of all, we see enemies coming together to come to Jesus. Meanwhile, Jesus already knows y'all don't even get along. So now y'all both coming at me like, and using all these words that may be true. And it's not that you're not going to give somebody a compliment. You are, but what you really want? You know what I mean? Like, what are your intentions? Okay. So that's just, like I told you, in every verse in the Bible, there's always something to learn. We could have totally skipped over it and got to Caesar, but there's always little nuggets, little gems that we can learn, little things that we can learn. Okay. So I noticed that. Okay. So Jesus knew enough. Okay, this is bugging me right here. So we're just gonna move you guys down here. Okay, Jesus knew enough not to regard this flattery from his enemies. Sometimes our enemies flatter us because they want to hurt us, the condescending. Sometimes our friends flatter us because they want to be kind and helpful. Okay, either way, it is a mistake to put too much stock in what others say about us, either good or bad. And that's important because if we live by the words of people, you're going to die by the words of people. And I've had to learn this, and if you haven't learned it yet, you're going to learn it. Destiny, as a business owner, you can't, because the same people that are will be the same people that'll be cutting me off the next day. So you can't let people's words get to your head. Yes, you cannot. And it's a skill that I've had to learn a la mala, in a rough way, because you cannot allow people's words to get to you. You're so great. You're so great. Let it slip off you. Just like if somebody's saying you're the worst person in the world, it's the same way when somebody gives you compliments. Because if you let it get to your head, it's a downfall. Either way, or bad. It's a downfall. So that's one thing we have to notice, right? Next, Daisy, you want to read for us? All right, Ralphie can you? All right, so Ralphie, Mark 12:15-17.
We said to them, why do you give me a small piece of money so I may employ him one? He asked them, whose picture is this? Whose name is this? He answered, Caesar. Then Jesus said to them, give to Caesar the things that belong to Caesar. Give to God the things that belong to God. They were surprised and wondered
at him. Why were they surprised? They thought they got him. Why? And this is what you were trying to explain before. What did they think that Jesus was going to say?
They were counting on him saying, and if he said that, that means that he got caught, and that up to you he goes.
Exactly. And I'm not even going to mess with you guys. I was convicted by this because I was like, dang, I haven't paid my taxes yet. I got to pay my taxes. The Lord says, pay your taxes. And Eddie's been on it and I haven't done it. So this is good. All right. Is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar or not? Since the year 6 AD, after Christ, the Jews were forced to pay taxes directly into the emperor's treasury. Some Jewish patriots, like the zealots, refused to pay this tax because they did not want to recognize Roman rule as legitimate. Most people grudgingly paid it, but everybody hated it. It wasn't just the money, but also the principle of paying the Roman oppressor. 3 taxes were imposed by the Romans. The first was the grand tax, which was 10% of all grain, 20% of all wine and fruit. The second was the income tax, which amounted to 1% of a man's income. The third was a poll tax paid by men aged 12 to 65, women 14 to 65. This was a denarius a year, about a day's wage for a laborer. Exactly. It sounds like Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico got taxes out the gazoo. Like 7 different taxes on like an Old Navy shirt. It's terrible. Yeah.
We see you and we go and we raise.
Exactly. Shall we pay or shall we not pay? Okay. They seem to put Jesus in a trap. You can't put Jesus in a trap. Jesus is Jesus, right? If he agreed the tax should be paid, Jesus then seemed to deny the sovereignty of God over Israel, and he would lose popular support. If Jesus agreed that the tax should not be paid, he would openly declare himself an enemy of Rome and treat it like a revolutionary. Okay. So you're trying to put him in a corner. We can almost see the smug, self-satisfied smiles of the Pharisees and Herodians as they skillfully threw this question on Jesus. They thought he was in a trap he could not get out of, but you can't put Jesus in a trap. Jesus knew their hypocrisy. So he says to them, why do you test me? Bring me a denarius that I may see it. So they brought it, and he said to them, whose image, right? And Jesus answered and said to him, render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. Okay, now, I'm going to forward. Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. What does that mean? Okay. Okay, anybody else got? Anybody else? I like that. Same thing. Earthly things and kingdom things. When Jesus said, render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, he's drawing a sharp distinction between earthly and heavenly. There's a kingdom of this world, and Caesar holds power over it. But there's also a kingdom not of this world, and Jesus is king of that. Christians are part of both kingdoms, and we forget this, okay? We're part of two kingdoms, heaven and earth. Under Caesar, listen to this, we have certain obligations that involve material things. Under Christ, we have other obligations that involve eternal things. If Caesar demands his money, give it to him. But make sure you also give what God demands. So, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. We're not just talking about money, guys. We're not talking about taxes. We're talking what Janice said. Do your earthly responsibilities. You have 2 jobs, go to both jobs. You have 2 kids, take care of your kids. You have a husband, take care of your husband. You got bills, pay them. You can't live by faith. I always tell you that story. We had a gentleman in this church. He would go to McDonald's after church and sit there, and people be like, Gabe, you're not going to eat? He's like, I live by faith. Well, bro, then you're not going to eat. He's like, no, I have faith that somebody's going to buy me my food. And he always got food, but it's like, bro, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. We have a duty, a responsibility. You want something, you got to work. You know, and here's the thing. Some of us Christians, we go from one extreme to the other. We're like living by faith, so I'm not going to work because, I live by faith and I pray all day. Yeah, but prayer is not going to put food on the table. Well, I'm going to be in church all day. I can't go to work today because, I'm going to be fasting all day. But fasting is not going to put food on the table. So we go from one extreme to the other. Then we have people that will work to the bone, but then have no time for Jesus. You see that? We're in 2 different worlds. So we have to make time for both. And yes, a lot of us, we've gotten good with being responsible because it's one of our godly principles to be responsible. You can't, you can't not feed your kids because you're going to go to church. Jalissa, if she was to tell her husband, I'm sorry, Manny, I'm not cooking dinner today. I have to go be part of women's fellowship. He's going to look at her like she's dumb. Like, what kind of church is that? And then she's going to be like, well, I'm a Christian above all. God is above all. Yes, amen. But God calls you to do your earthly responsibilities. So we can't use that as an excuse, although some of us have. Been there, done that. Well, no, sorry, can't cook for you today, Eddie. I got to go pray. He's going to look at me like, what kind of God is that? What kind of God is that? What do you mean? Well, no, but God comes first. We have to use wisdom because you have a non-living husband and you're going to leave your husband without food to go to church to pray. But the Bible says to be a Proverbs 31 woman. So where does that fit in? We have to use wisdom. Well, if I want him to believe in the God that I believe, then let me make sure that his belly is full and then do what I got to do. Wisdom. Some of us don't use it, right? So pay to Caesar the things that belong to Caesar. Then we have Christians that don't pay their taxes. And then when I get in trouble, I'm going to be like, God, is the devil after me? Well, God is like, no, you're not using wisdom because you have a responsibility as a United States citizen to pay your bills or to pay your taxes or pay whatever or go to work. Okay. So I'm not teaching you something that God is slamming me with. We have to remember, there's an earthly kingdom, but there's a heavenly kingdom. So we've gotten to the point where we're good with our responsibilities. But when it says give to God what belongs to God, I think, or at least me, that's where we're coming into friction, right? When I did my devotion, a half hour this morning, and sometimes this is what we do. I'm not saying everybody, but this is what we do. Well, I did my devotion already. So that is checked off. Can you do a relationship? Can I do that with my husband? Like, when I gave him a kiss this morning, I said, good morning, I love you. Done. Got to talk to you for the rest of the day. Relationship does not work that way. Religion may work that way. Yes, I did my Ave Maria and the 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know how to do it. So I'm good. Now, north, south, east, west. I passed by the church. I did my north, south, east, west. So I'm good. That's religion. But we're not doing a religion. We're doing relationship. So if you're doing relationship, then it's impossible to check off a box. That part. Never. No. But that's the thing. It's an all day long thing. So check it out. What's the greatest, and I've been thinking about this all week, not religiously, not in a spiritual way, just in general. What's the greatest gift you can give someone? Literally, even if that's not their love language, because love languages, we all interpret love differently. Some people love to be hugged and touched.
Respect.
Some people like time. Some people like gifts.
Respect also.
Respect. There's a plethora of love languages. But the ultimate love language is, according to Google, the greatest gift you can give someone is your undivided time, attention, and true presence. Because time is limited. Sharing it means giving a piece of your life that you could never get back. It tells another person that they matter and are worthy, I'm supposed to say, of your moments, or worth of your moments. That's the best gift you can give someone. It's the best gift you can give someone. Like, if I'm taking my time out to do something with you, or listen to you talk, or give you a phone call, or give you a text message, or just stop by and visit you, I'm giving you my time, and time is worth way more than money, because money can be replaced. Time cannot. You cannot. That's why we get paid for our time. That's why when you cancel, you get charged a fee, because time is money. You're not going to get that. And you know what? The Lord, I had a little epiphany this week, because how many of you may not have battles outside, but have battles up here? And you know what? Why is he, and this was me talking to myself, why is the enemy attacking me so much in my mind? Because while I am sitting here meditating on whatever the enemy is putting in my head, doing what God called me to do. And if I'm not doing what God called me to do, he is entertaining me, wasting. So I go back to 2013, when I spent 2 full years worried and afraid and worried, and no, 2012, because it was right before Friday Night Live was born. But I was entertained for hours on end with never-ending anxiety and depression. And what he was doing was entertaining me so that I couldn't execute what God had already given me to do. So now, this week, I had an epiphany, and I said, why am I getting attacked? Because the enemy, as long as he can distract me with my thoughts, I can't do what God called me to do. So if you're being headache, depression, anxiety, anything that's causing you to be immobile, think about what is happening here. What are you trying to distract me from? So this week, because the attack was so bad, it's been, whether physical health, I mean, it's sneezing, coughing, headache, nausea, dizzy. And I'm like, and because when you're feeling like that, you can't do anything else. When you're feeling sick, you're going to go to bed. And if I'm sleeping, I can't do what I'm supposed to do because I'm sleeping. If I'm sneezing, I can't do anything else because I'm sneezing. So I'm like, what is happening? And then finally, I put a sermon on because I was watching my novela while I'm working. And yes, novelas are entertaining, but they're not feeding anything, right? They're entertaining. They're great. I'm loving to see what's happening with Maria and Jose. Yeah, it's great. I'm on the next chapter. But nothing, my spirit isn't being fed. So I was just like, I need to put something else on. Lo and behold, I put on a random message that was not random, because it was literally talking about the enemy whispering into your ear and thoughts and battle and battle and battle. And then after that, I woke up and I still feel sick physically, but I got up and I was just like, hold on, I got stuff to do. I gotta talk about the worship team. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And then I realized while I'm sitting here worried about what I'm thinking about, I'm not doing what God called me to do. I'm stagnant. So he's wasting my time and you can't get it back. And then the thing is, and I like that Bernadette said it, She said, when I wake up in the morning, I ask God, what do you want me to do today? So while you're stuck in your pity party, the person you were supposed to minister to that may be on the brink of suicide is not getting the word that only you can give them because you're in a pity party. You see what I'm saying here? We all have a job to do every single day. And while you're withering away, worried about yourself, you're not doing what God called you to do. Do you realize that when you pray like that, God, give me the ability to bless somebody today. Give me the ability to speak life into somebody. God always brings somebody and you're able to bless them. And they're like, I needed that word. And I know because I send the daily text. And I'm like, how many times have I not sent the daily text? Because I was so caught up in my own feelings. Meanwhile, there's people that are dying for a word, but I was too selfish. And then when I do the right thing and I send the daily text, then you got people like, I needed that. How did you know? And I'm like, I didn't know, but God, thank you that I was obedient today. I should have been obedient yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that, right? Okay, time. So I'm thinking about this. I said, God, all right, you gave us 24 hours. You're talking about give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. You're talking about give to you what belongs to you. I don't know what you want me to say. And this is what came to my heart. He told me to ask you guys this and myself. Do you love me? Obviously, everybody's gonna be like, yeah, I love God, right? Everybody, do we love? Yeah, I do. Do you love me? Okay. Do you trust me? Of course I trust you. Yeah. Fall back, and I know you're gonna take care of me. And so then God says, then why don't you spend time with me? God, but I did my devotion. That half hour in the morning, like while I'm waiting for my mom to come pick me up so I can get my coffee. I put the prayer on. I'm listening to that prayer while I'm editing. And then God is like, but why don't you spend time with me? Why don't you spend time with me? See, because I could be in the same room as my daughter. She's on one couch and I'm on the other. That don't mean I'm spending time with her. That just means that we're in the same room. Unless I'm having an actual conversation with her, we're not spending time. That's not spending time. Now, if you're with your partner, right? She's in bed with Manny and she's hugging, that's spending time. We're not necessarily talking, but they're each other's up. They're acknowledging each other. But you could be on that same bed and be in two different worlds. Yeah, that's a whole nother topic for another day, girl. I said, get them out of your bed. Yeah, not good. But so God says, why don't you spend time with me? Why don't you spend time with me? Okay, here. Because I wrote it so I don't forget it. It's kind of like when somebody dies. When somebody dies, nobody thinks about how much the ticket costs. Nobody thinks about, I got to take time off from work. Everybody and their mother's going to the funeral because it's an emergency. Yes or no? It's an emergency. Saca el pasaje. We got to go. Mind you, the person's been sick. Oh, no, I can't go. I got to work. I don't have time off. I don't have the money. But when death comes, yeah, that's a perfect example. When my sister went to get married, the first time. I can say that because I got married twice too. My dad, we invited my dad's family. Nobody can come. They didn't have enough time. They didn't have enough funds. Everybody was sick. They had doctor's appointments. My sister got married May 24th. My father died June 22nd. They all came to the funeral. May 24th, he was alive and well. He was at the wedding. He was in a wheelchair, but he was dancing. He was singing. Nobody can make it. A month, he wanted them there, but nobody can make it. June 22nd, dude is dead. Sorry to be morbid, but it's the truth. He's dead. Everybody's there crying over the casket, trying to take pictures with my dead father. No. A month ago, he was alive, and you guys didn't have time. Now you want it? You know what happens? Here's what happens. Desperation. When somebody dies, there's no more time. You're never going to see them again. That's why you want to take a picture with them in the casket, because you don't have enough time. You have no more time. Time is gone. Okay. Pay your respect, but you should have paid it while he was alive. In that case, it's not against the picture. It's you. I think that in his situation where if somebody's sick, if you didn't make the memories with him, it's the whole point is this. We don't make the time while the person's alive. But if something happens, all of a sudden, everything that stopped you is irrelevant. Okay?
He can't acknowledge it. You came from wherever you came to Paris, where he has absolutely no knowledge.
Absolutely not. He's not. So I said one word. When people die, life stops and we make things happen, right? We do the same thing with our relationship with God. I'll prove it to you. oh, I couldn't make it to church. I gotta work. I can't make it to church. I have no time off. I can't make it to church. I don't have money. I can't make it to church. My back hurts. I can't make it to church, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But when you're desperate, all of a sudden you have time to go to that prayer service. When you're desperate, you don't care. You'll miss work. When you're desperate, you don't care if the kids have a fever. You're gonna make it there. What's the difference? What's the difference? Desperation. Desperation. When do we actually make time for Jesus? 9 times out of 10, our lives are starting to fall apart. When our hearts are shattered or when we start feeling the cold of this world. And then we have the audacity to ask, why do you let bad things happen to good people? But here is the absolute truth of our reality. Unless we had hardships, we wouldn't look for the Lord. I had this conversation with my mom this morning. I said, Mom, you know what? I noticed something. Certain things in my life are starting to crack. And I realized that I got to stop watching the novela and start listening to sermons. And she was like, yeah. And in my head, I'm like, and I told her, I said, but I realized that when I was putting God first and being intentional, okay, not checking him off as a box devotional in the morning, not listening to a worship song and saying, I got it out of the way. But when I started being intentional with the Lord, everything else was falling into place. There were certain things I didn't have to worry about because God would take care of it. But I got cocky in my own right. And I started doing other things and checking off a box, putting him in a box. And then that life starts falling apart. And then we're wondering why. You see why sometimes things happen? You see why God allows desperation to come? Because the truth is we wouldn't seek him. If we didn't have pain, we wouldn't seek him. We wouldn't. We can lie to ourselves and say, yes, I would. Yes, I would. No, you won't. You won't do it the same desperation. Remember the lady that reached out to him and she was like, if I can only touch the hem of his garments. You know what that was? Desperation. She was desperate. She believed because she was desperate, because there was no other way. She had run out of all resources. When we run out of the resources, when you're to the point where you think you're going to go crazy because your mind is, then and only then will you get down on your knees and cry out to Jesus. No, you lived it. Pain is the alarm of the soul. Oh, why am I starting to feel anxiety? Why am I starting to feel depression? Why am I starting to feel sick? Because you're not seeking him the way you're supposed to be seeking him. The Bible says, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, but give to God what belongs to God. And I think that's where we fall. Oh, but I'm doing it. No, you're not. Oh, yeah, but everybody knows how much, right? My worship time compared to Bernadette's worship time. Oh, well, she did 3 hours and you only did 2. You can't do that. You can't do that. You know why? Because everybody is different. Comparison is a thief of all joy. But on top of that, you cannot compare because everybody has a different relationship with God. So you can't say, well, Brandon fasted for 5 hours. Now I have to fast for 5. No, because if he only has fast and he gave it, then that's what's relevant. If I had 10 hours and I only give 1, who is he going to honor more? The one that can only give 5 and gave the 5, or the one that can give 10 and only gave 1? It's obviously going to be the one that gave everything that he had. So according to your life and according to the responsibilities that God has given you, God is measuring you by you. He's not measuring you against somebody else. He knows. And you see how I asked you guys, oh, well, what's your day look like? And what's your day look like? And what's your day look like? Because everybody's different. But God is not measuring Amaya compared to Jalissa. God is measuring Amaya against Amaya. Like, I know exactly how much time you have, but how much time of that time have you invested for me? But when you're desperate and you need something, all of a sudden, now I'm priority. Yes, we take him for granted. And that's true. He is always going to be there. But and you know what? Ariel said it. Either you come the good way or you came the hard way. Both of them are hard. You choose your hard, right? And I saw this quote this week. Either you can work out now, or when you're 70, you're walking with your back hurting. Well, the person that's working out at 50 is not going to be walking like this at 70 because they're putting in their work. You understand? And so I believe that God is really interested. Oh, well, he's a mean God because he's making my life harder. No, here's the thing. If we're not putting God first, then we're making decisions that are out of order. And when we make decisions that are out of order, then we cause consequences that were never meant to be there. And now life becomes hard based on our own choices that we made without wisdom from not consulting him from the beginning anyway.
God's not gonna ask about Brandon, Alyssa, or Lucindy. You're gonna ask about lifelong lessons to learn that. So I don't worry about anybody else.
You can't. You can't.
I'm worried about this one. Like
you can't. You have to be worried about yourself and your relationship with Christ. Here's another thing that the Lord is teaching me though. Remember when I asked you, do you trust me? A lot of us love him, but a lot of us don't trust him. And I'll give you a perfect example. And I know she's going to cringe, but I don't care. Because I'm like, if I trust the Lord, and this is the truth, if I trust the Lord, then I don't have to worry about something's going to happen to her because God loves her more than I do, right? So I'm here not sleeping. This is a true story. The other night, I was up at 4 a.m, from 4 to 6, worried about, God forbid, something was going to happen to my daughter. And the Lord was like, yeah, you were home. It's just anxiety. It's the devil. It's a torturing mechanism that the enemy uses. And the Lord is like, what is it going to take for you to trust me? And then I thought to myself, when I was 18 years old, did my mom go sleepless nights worrying about what I'm doing? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure she did not. I'm pretty sure she said, God, she belongs to you. I'm going to bed. But here's the thing. How many hours do we spend worried about things that you can't control? That's where anxiety comes from. You know that anxiety comes from the fact that you can't control something and you want to control something. And so that's why you're having anxiety. It's not about you. It's just that she don't worry about nothing. She literally doesn't worry about nothing.
Yeah, kids. But then you put me, Jay. And I said, well, when you look at my husband, he let me do whatever they want. And when she just put the foot down, no, they can do whatever. Oh my God, that traumatized me so much. Knowing that my husband didn't serve the Lord. Look at this. Knowing that, and the devil put that in my mind when the day when the leader said, I don't want to go to church no more. And Victor started saying, you don't have to go. And then the leader thought, oh my God, that worried me. 13 years of my life wasted worrying about that. It was terrible. I constantly worrying about that. The day came, the unit was 13 years old. And that day, the unit started to take his time, because you don't let go that they go to church. Well, you take his time, because you don't let go to fight. So Victor comes out of the room and he said, what's wrong with your people? You and I said, because this one is taking his time, because he don't want to go to church. My husband, he said, what? And we have to go to church. Because the reason he was doing that was for God.
She doesn't have to go.
Because he thought that he was the support. And that said, yeah, so I learned
That part.
worry about something, and this is your experience and things that teach you to other life. And when the Lord told me not to worry about something, yes, but it what about
Sleep. But I think it's a matter of how much do you trust the Lord. And when you're driving yourself nuts about things that you can't change, things that haven't happened yet. And here's what the Lord told me this week, and this is what I'm sharing with you guys. Worry to that point is a sin against God. You're sinning against God just as bad as if you were shooting up. You're sinning against God just as bad as if you were gossiping. You're sinning against God as if you're committing murder. Well, what do you mean? Because you're not trusting. You're saying, God, you're not strong enough to take care of my daughter. You're not strong enough to heal my husband. You're not strong enough to take care of finances. And it's an insult. If my daughter was to tell me, well, I don't know if the lights are going to be on because I don't know that if you're going to pay for it, that would be insulting to me because I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure she's taken care of. So if she was to tell me, well, I don't know if you, I'd be like, what? You're my daughter. How do you think God feels when you're saying, well, no, I don't know if, I don't know if you're going to take care of me today. I just don't know. I might get hit by a car. And God is like, who do you think that you're serving? Again, I'm not telling you guys something just to tell you. I'm telling you because this is the conviction that I've had this week. God is like, it's insulting to me and you're sinning. When you're sitting there depressed and worried and full of anxiety and all this drama, it's an insult to me because you're the apple of my eye. I will take care of you, but you don't trust me.
Lou.
Yes.
I was going to say, it's also, you're denying his love for you.
That part.
And he loved us so much that he sent his only son. So that type of lack of trust doesn't just insult him. It denies everything he did when he sent his son.
That part.
Because if he didn't love us, but we all, with grace, right? Like, because we know how sinful we are, a lot of it too is pride, right? It's an inward pride. It's a reflection. How could God love someone like me? How could he save me? I messed up so bad. My daughter might do the same thing I did. Our assumption is, our thoughts of him is because we're looking at ourselves so much.
And we're looking at him through our
lens, not his. And we're not taking him for him and his word, because his word says something different. Countless
and that's the problem. We can't take him for his word because we don't read his word.
The CSB and the LSB, they say be still is still correct, but stop fighting gives you like, okay, the idea is that you're fighting, you're struggling. So God is telling you, stop the fighting and know that I am God.
But here's the thing, you're fighting on your own accord. You're fighting on your own accord. That's not that, and again, that's not the enemy, that's on you. That, you know what I mean? Like, that's your own. Maybe it's past trauma from when I was a child, but how long am I going to hold that as an excuse? At some point, you got to give it back to the Lord and say, God, this is not normal. This is not normal. We got to give it back to the Lord. So when today's class is called Time is Running Out, there's things that every single person in this room was called to do. So while you're so caught up and lack for a better word, in your miserable little life, people are actually dying. We get to choose God every day. They haven't even heard about God yet. And he's not going to come back until everybody hears about God. But what about those people that were to be told of God by you and through your lifestyle, but you're still too caught up? And when I say miserable little life, I'm talking to myself as well. When I'm so caught up in the and well, what's Lucindy today? And it's all about me because it's me. And we live in that egocentric world where I'm going to do me and it's all me. Right. But when you give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar and give to God what belongs, the coin had Caesar's face on it. We were created in the image of God. We belong to him. So, we got to give back. We're not even giving back something that belongs to us. We don't even belong to ourselves. Kathy, oh my gosh, so cute. Yeah, because it's easier to just quit. Right. Of course.
Get those scriptures and start boiling against that spirit.
That's so accurate because I wasn't here last week. But from what I was told, all the worship team had a stomachache last week. The whole worship team had a stomachache. That's not a coincidence. The enemy is going to attack us in every which way he can. So I leave you guys with this. Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. We're good at that. But give to God what belongs to God. And know that the enemy is going to do everything in his power to stop you, trip you, pause you, entertain you. If he can't stop you, he'll distract you. Don't fall for it. Let's have wisdom. Let's keep our ears open and our eyes open to what's really going on. Because like Janet said, we're part of an earthly kingdom. We all know that. But we're also part of a spiritual kingdom, one that we can't see and one that's at war with us 24/7. So if you're being attacked, congratulations, you're doing something right. And if you feel nothing, then we need to repent and pray for you tonight. Because if you feel nothing, enemy doesn't attack something that's not a threat. He only attacks threats. If he's threatened by you, yeah, then you're going to get it. All right?